Hello, my name is Jack O'Halloran and I am presenting on my project for this short course, which is on KO. So KO is an online sports viewing service similar to Netflix or Stan, but based around sport. So the user flow I'm focusing on is between selecting a program to watch, closing it, and resuming watching it. So the reason I've chosen this and the reason for my hunch to choose it is because of how recently KO started in November 2018. On top of this, I am a user and have found many UX design issues through this. So, continuing on, I started a persona. I created a persona who is James Abbott. He's age is 35. He's male, lives in the inner city, married, no children, is an electrician. He wants to relax after a long day of work. Wants updates on his favorite sports, to watch sports live and also replays. He wants ease of use, relaxation time, quick access to favorite sports, and minimal thinking after a long day of work. He finds confusing UX a pain point, and also he can't resume if he needs to be able to resume what he was watching after he stopped it. So, after this, before I did my system usability scale, I did some landscape review. For the landscape review, I chose Stan and Netflix. These aren't based around sports, but they're the closest in terms of online viewing to KO. The one thing that KO lacks is that it does not have a resume button, and also the video player is lacking in a few different areas in terms of UX. KO is also, one thing to mention is KO is a really nice UI design website, which leads to the aesthetic usability effect. And I think a lot of people see it as just a nice website, even though it is lacking in a few areas in its UX. So, going back, did a system usability scale. So, got 4 friends who all use KO. The results were pretty similar throughout for everyone. Few areas to focus on in here, as well as from the interviews. So I based my interview questions around the sports they watch and also their online viewing of TV and movies. Gathered some clues, and also did some intercepts while they were using KO to get their feel for everything. So there's a bit of qualitative and quantitative research going on here. Basically, my results from all of this, key areas to focus on: visibility of system status, user control and freedom, and recognition rather than the recall. These all comes from questions such as the intercepts. The exit button is confusing. There are no resume functions after the exit, and I feel like the video player should be full screen. Just a few things to touch on. A few things that led to these results. So after this, I did my Crazy 8. These are all based around how people consume their sports and ways that this can be added into Chaos. So live TV, YouTube highlights I think is an important one that could be included. News, panel shows, live in person, virtual reality is just something just fun to throw in there, just thinking outside the box, and sport apps. So then I did my ease of creation and how much it's going to like improve KO scale with my post-it notes. VR is obviously down here. It's going to be hard to do, but also is not going to contribute a lot to the website. The highlight function, I think that could be useful, but might be hard to pull off. The resume function, I think, is very important, not too hard to pull off. Progress bar, accordion, just a few ideas that I was thinking of and have thrown into my prototypes. So then I did a storyboard. This is James getting home, turning on his TV, he gets 3 options. This is my ideal for KO. 3 options: live, start, highlights. He pauses it because he wants to go get his dinner. Turns on something else in the meantime, comes back, and then he gets those 3 as well as a resume, which needs to be on KO and is lacking at the moment. Started working on paper, just creating some basic prototypes here, mainly for the flow of the website. Then I started refining it, where things are going to sit, what's going to stay on one page, what's going to go somewhere else. Still working at paper at this point. Then I created my low fidelity prototype, which I did on Sketch, and it is also on InVision. Quickly go through this. So basically go through, open this, go into your show. From here you get to watch live, highlights from start. Let's go with watch live. This is your video player. You're going back, and that's your progress bar, and you get your resume button, which has gone to there. Continuing on. So from here I did another systems usability scale on my prototype. So I could only get 4 people, would have loved to get 5, but these are the 4 that return. So that's enough for me. I averaged that out. I improved in all the areas I wanted to from KO's original. So a few things stayed the same because they're just not going to change about the how frequently they're going to use the system. Whether or not how much they watch sport is, I can't change that. And then I did a test guide with this same group of people. So in the test guide, I wanted them to open the program, open a show, view the video, return home, and resume the video. Basically what I just went through in that prototype. A few things came out from that, and from this is that title needs to be more obviously clickable. They had problems clicking onto the show. How will the highlights function work, which I show in the medium, and where does the title of the video sit in the video player. That was regarding to. So onto the medium fidelity prototype. So landing on the home page, you get your live sport here, as part of a show. So let's go see the show, season 1, episode, blah blah blah. Click on clicking on here. So from here you get your highlights from start, from live. Let's go to highlights to start with. See that? So basically now it's showing all the highlights for each quarter. As you hover over, it's going to say the time when it happened and a quick debrief of what the highlight is, and that'll be quarter by quarter. So if you want to recap quickly, and then you can go, alright, from there let's start watching live. So now we're watching live. I want to go back, and you get your nice little progress bar with the time you're at, and also your resume button is now available. Click on resume, and we're up to here. Alright, so that's my full project. Everything I went through, the thought around it all. I'm pretty happy with the final prototype, and that's it for now. Might keep working on this for a bit of fun, and thank you for the support. Bye.